Ish. Not my favorite town in game. Let's just, so let's just get our business done here and then move on. Okay. Barbecue Newt done for Elena. I want to actually continue that side quest with Elena, but, you know, I don't want to just leave her, even though she already has, I believe, 3 pieces, if not more, of Dudbear's gold. Let's look. Yep, she's got 3 already, so she'd be good on the Dudbear's gold, but, you know, I want to have more. I'm very greedy like that. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Because, actually, I think I'll explore the town later, because I want it to be nighttime in the town, and we have to go north anyway, first of all. So, let's head north first, before I do anything else. So this is the North Glass Desert here, and we've got some new enemies to be taken care of. Now, before we start with this part, before I start ranting about random stuff, the big thing with the North Glass Desert is that there are these land bridges made of Stardust in the area. You just keep going at that, Lily. I mean, you're gonna hurt yourself, but... there are land bridges that only appear at night, and they're made of Stardust, and they allow you to cross the chasms that are made by these raised rocks, these raised cliffs here. Otherwise, there's no way for you to get on top of the cliffs, but with the land bridges, you can make your way through there. Now, as you can see there, the skull drakes are like the regular skeletons, or whatever they were called in the in the Vinket Hall. They will glow periodically like that, and then if you run a magic spell over them at the time, it deals a bunch of hits simultaneously. And it's actually really good for leveling up your spells if you're in need of leveling up spells at this point in time. If your spells are relatively low leveled, like not my Wisp, because my Wisp on both Elena and Duke's file are high enough level to where really only the Cyclopses will provide good enough experience for me in order to provide for my level ups there, but you know, if you have like, let's say, let me go to my stats here real quick. If you have like, let's say I wanted to level up my Undine or my Dryad, my Gnome, my Luna level, pretty much anything under level 20 at this point, you can level up using the Skull Drakes. They are weak to Wisp though, so that might be a little bit more difficult to raise your Wisp on them. But basically what you do if you want to get them to glow like this is you just run into them and then run away from them. So it's basically like poking someone on Facebook. If you poke them enough times, they'll get annoyed at you and then they'll start raging at you. That's pretty much the thing with the Skull Drakes here. And as you can see, I can run a bunch of these over top of them. And eventually I will get a whole lot for it. Lily, stop pounding on it, you're just going to hurt yourself. Physical attacks don't work on them when they are glowing like that. They'll actually hurt you if you use a physical attack on them, so don't do it. So now I want to get it to nighttime here so I can show you how the Stardust bridges work, and I want to make sure I'm going the right way. Now the idea for this is that you want to get through here, excuse me, you want to get through here through these Stardust bridges. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm standing on it right now. You couldn't do this in the daytime. You want to cover as much ground as you can at night because, well, that's the only time that the Stardust bridges are available. So cover as much ground as you can and then move on. Some of the enemies in this area are kind of tough, like this Fierce Face, I think it's called, right here. They have quite a bit, yeah, it's Fierce Face. They have quite a bit of HP, but nothing you can't handle, really. You know, a good Wisp spell should be good. Willy, of course, like most partners, will probably die a whole lot here. Ha, that thing hit him. But, you know, just be careful and you should be good. And nighttime's gonna run out now, isn't it? Damn it! Okay, fine. Am I going? Let's see. Where should I go from here? I should go grab... Okay. I should go grab that. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm going the right way. Oh, and during the daytime there's even more different enemies here, including this guy. This guy is a Sky Dragon? No, Kid Dragon. And he's actually quite a bit difficult. I think he's pretty much resistant to most magic. He's resistant completely to Wisp, but he's weak to jab trait weapons like most flying enemies. So use that. I'm not going to bother because Elena really doesn't need the experience at this point. She's already level 40, so not going to bother with him. So anyway, I'm gonna. Oh wow! Holy cow! How often do you face this guy? That's a rare enemy. As you can see, there are no other enemies on the screen at this point. This guy's a rare enemy. It's called Tyrannos. It's what you would think out of a giant armored dragon. He doesn't take magic very well, but he's pretty well resistant to physical attacks as far as I can see. Let's look on his let's look in his bestiary entry if I can find it. Well, wait, hang on. Was it up here? There it is, Tyrannos. Okay, so he's not very resistant to physical attacks. He does have good defense, but his mind stat is lacking. He's weak to slash trait weapons and salamander magic. And I was actually using something that he was fairly decent against, and it was still doing ridiculous damage. As you can see, Elena is fairly overpowered with the magic. But, anyway, I'm going to go into a slight rant here just because of the fact that, like I said, it's a venting tool for me. So, I've been kind of discouraged lately about, well, the whole YouTube thing. At first, it was more of just the fact that, it was more of an aesthetic thing because of all the death that's been happening in my playthroughs lately, you know, with Dominique dying recently in Nightfire, and with Dark Lord dying, and Amanda dying, and Devious, and Lady Medusa, and all of that stuff. Oh, and if you walk over here, you get a light geode, by the way, so that's pretty nice. So with everybody dying, it was more of an aesthetic thing that I was going to use, but now I'm actually getting kind of discouraged because of a couple of things that I've seen recently. Let's jump down here, thank you. Because of some stuff that I've seen happening around me lately here on YouTube. Now, I'm not trying to, like, you know, get in anyone's face about anything with this, but this is just my opinion and me ranting about stuff, so I was looking at Ninbuzz recently. This is gonna hit me, isn't it? Oh, okay. He just glowed. Never mind. Get out of my way. Ow. Get out of my way. Thank you. Okay. So I went on Ninbuzz a couple of days ago. Okay, I think I've gotten all the treasure up here. Haven't I? Yeah, I have. So I went on Ninbuzz a couple of days ago. Ninbuzz, if you are unaware of what Ninbuzz is, it's basically a collaborative channel that does Nintendo Wii stuff, Nintendo GameCube stuff, Super Nintendo stuff, all that sort of stuff. So, and the thing with Ninbuzz, is there any way for me to get back up there? I guess there is, so, okay. So the thing with Ninbuzz is that, I mean, it seems like since it's a collaborative channel, you know, they would let a lot of the gurus and the bigger people on YouTube on there, so when I went on Ninbuzz the other day, because I was looking for, you know, just looking around for some random stuff, and I saw a Sonic Colors playthrough on Ninbuzz. So, oh, there we get an obsidian. That's good for an armor forging, like I said in Grand's Castle. So I see a Sonic Colors playthrough on Ninbuzz, and I'm like, oh man, great guys, thanks for taking yet another somewhat original idea from me, because, I mean, as far as I know, there aren't too many Sonic Colors playthroughs on YouTube. Then again, I haven't looked very hard, but, you know. So anyway, after I was, you know, after about 5 minutes of me saying, you know what, I'm probably not going to watch this just because of the fact that, you know, it was an idea that I had and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, well, it's Ninbuzz, so they would let, you know, the people that are like the gurus of YouTube, they would let the people whom you can look up to, they would let them on there. And since Sonic Colors is kind of going to be a different thing for me because I haven't done a game like that yet, like, I mean, I'm doing an RPG and a first-person shooter right now, and Sonic Colors is nothing like either of those. I need it to be nighttime. Sonic Colors isn't really like either of those, so it's kind of, it's a different experience for me. So I figured what I would do is I would kind of do what I usually do. And usually I kind of learn by experience and then add my own input in for my commentary for it. Because, I mean, you know, the content part is easy enough. Just play Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors is a pretty easy game. So, I figured I would look on there for, like, commentary tips. Because, I mean, at this point, now, when I started playing Sword of Mana, I didn't know what I was going to talk about while I was on this game either. But I don't know what I can talk about for Sonic Colors at this point because, well, I've never done anything like that before, so it's kind of difficult to know what you're going to talk about. I'll probably just be able to, you know, hoof it myself anyway, and just, you know, it'll be a little rough around the edges at first, but I'll figure it out myself eventually. So, you know, I was looking on there, and I see this playthrough, and so I say, okay, I'm going to watch the playthrough, because it was just one episode at this point. So I'm going to watch the episode, and I'm going to see, you know, like, what this guy's doing, and since he's part of Ninbuzz, surely, you know, he'll be someone that I can kind of, you know, get some tips from, and then add my own input in there as I go along. Huh, that's weird. Okay, let's use this mana statue then. I wonder if the desert is ending. That would be kind of weird. Anyway, so I figure, you know, wait, what did that say? Ruined passage, huh? Well, this is weird. We're basically sidetracking right now. We're not actually going the correct way, but as you can see right here, do you hear that? That's the A button being mashed right next to my mic, and you can't do anything with the door there yet, but we can grab these treasure chests while we're here. Might as well, right? So yeah, I figure the guy would be someone that I can kind of look up to, you know, and I could get some tips out of it, and then my playthrough would benefit from it. But as it turns out, it wasn't exactly the experience I was hoping for. The video started out just fine, although at the point that I was at, the guy's voice was very, very boring. Like, worse than my Chemistry 1 teacher. Boring. So, I mean, the video started out just fine, but by the time, like, the 9-minute mark came along, I was just, you know, I was just out of it at that point. Now, when I was watching it, it was 2:30 in the afternoon, and I had gotten 9 hours of sleep the night before. So, I got to around 9 minutes in, at about 2:30, and then all of a sudden, I wake up, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and I have no idea what's going on. Oh god, that's gonna hurt. Okay. Wow, he can breathe fire. Jesus. But yeah, all of a sudden I wake up, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, did I fall asleep to this guy's voice? Really? Like, he was so boring to me that I actually fell asleep to his voice, literally. Like, I don't know if there was something wrong with me or what that day, but I don't think that that's, like, a good thing when you fall asleep to a commentator. Because it's like, you're that boring of a person, right? Now, me personally, I live by an axiom, and if there's any one axiom that I live by in my life, it is that there is always room for improvement. Sure, I say that I'm the best commentator on YouTube, and I'm all full of myself and everything like that, but the point of the matter is that I'm not saying that there's no room for improvement. I'm not saying I have reached perfection. I am nirvana. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's always room for improvement. Even if it's like a great commentator and somebody who has hundreds of thousands of subscribers and all that stuff, there's always room for them to improve on their commentary, on their content that they produce, on everything. At this point in time, I don't have the money to improve on my content, so I'm always looking for ways to improve my commentary. Unfortunately, not everyone follows this axiom. I'll get to that more in a second. So, hold on. Let's talk to all the people in Ish, since we're already, you know, around here, and I haven't talked to anyone really in Ish. So, let's talk to them. Yeah, it's a pretty nice town. It's not as nice as Wendell. I like Wendell better, but you know. Oh, cool. Stella seems to be a pretty philanthropic person, considering she's, well, you know, it's just her job being a good member of the community, I guess, but whatever. Oh, you know what I forgot to do, is I forgot to make it nighttime and come here. Oh, things slip my mind when I'm ranting. We should probably revive Willy along the way, or I could just do it later. I think I'll just do it later. Okay, day, evening, night. So what happened is that the person that I was, while I'm doing this, the person that I was looking at on Ninbuzz who did this thing, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go and take a look at their page just to see, like, you know, how far exactly they've gotten along in YouTube, because at the time when I woke up, I thought, you know, they might be like a beginner, but that would pose, you know, a good chance of, like, say, me getting on Ninbuzz or something like that, you know? Here's the guy that sells you a dud bear. Let's talk to him. I do like animals. Why do I have to keep it down? It's an animal. Oh, it's domesticated, huh? Well, aren't the ones that are in the Ben and Mine domesticated? Aren't they all domesticated? I don't know. 40,000 lucre, dude. It's the recession. I don't have that kind of money. Well, those people are crazy. You're a real shame. Get out of my face. So now you want to go to the inn. And there's a particular person in the inn that I want to meet. Huh. Wow. So this is the guy that... I mean, without him, the gemmas would have been lost on their way to the Sword of Mana. What do you mean? You're being very cryptic, old man. Yeah, I'm sure he was fine. Well, that's a whole bunch of epic foreshadowing that I'm not going to get to later, but let's just say it has something to do with the 3 gemmas, not including Sibba. Because, I mean, if you count, there's Bogard, there's Granz, Sibba's not really a Gemma Knight, so there's him, and there's ... We don't know who that third one is yet, but that has something to do with it. I won't talk about that yet, though. No, I don't want to hear your juicy story. This guy is a fairly good way of farming Dudbear's Gold if you're a melee character, because in the South Glass Desert there are these things called basilisks, and after you've talked to him and talked about a quest with him, he will ask you to find boo-boo worms off of the basilisks, and they drop kind of rarely, but you bring them back to him and he'll measure them. If they're longer than 20 inches, he'll give you a piece of Dudbear's Gold. So, you know, that's a decent way of farming the Dudbear's Gold if you want it, but I don't need to do that because there's a better way that I will get to when the side quest becomes available. So, this is the person I'm looking for. Assad. Well, I don't have that much Dudbear's Gold, but... And besides, Elena's a girl. Dude. Why aren't you in Devious Manor, anyway? I mean, you look like one of the handmaids there. What do you mean, trade with monsters? You're not a monster, you're a Mavel. Okay. And what will happen with Assad is that she will give you a spirit based on the day of the week it is. She only appears in the inn at night, and she'll give you the spirit based on the day of the week it is. Some of you are probably wondering what we could do with that Dudbear's Gold. Well, if you shell out 3 pieces of Dudbear's Gold to Assad, she'll give you the spirit. Now, she's giving me Undine here, and I don't want to give her get Undine. I actually want to get the second Wisp spirit from her with Elena. So I'm going to take care of that off-screen now, since I forgot that I had to make it a specific day. So I'm going to take care of that off-screen, and then I'm going to be right back so I can continue exploring Ish. I'll probably also sleep at the inn, just to get Willy back on his feet, so... I'll be right back.